Allow us to continue upon this path of repentance in search of the kingdom. We give you all the praise, the honor, and the glory in the name of your Son, our King, Hamashiach Yahawashi, we pray. Amen. Now Shabbat Shemayim Dash Haya Shemka Yahweh Malakwata Daba'a Ratazayaka Haya Aisha Ba Rataza Kawa Haya Ba Shemayim Nefeminawa Lacham Zay Yawam Wasalach Nawa Kabawaf Nawa Kasalach Nawa Kabawaf Nawa Wala'a Kabaya Nawa Messiah Wan Abba Hawashai Nawa Man, Ra, Kaya, Lamka, Amalakwa, Wala Allah, Wala Pa, Wala Ra, Wala I, the Lumi, Wadi Yahweh, Wadi Yahweh.
And now for the translation of the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed will be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. Shabian, you may be seated.
Good, Yasharala. Everything all right? We straight? See a lot of no, we was a little lengthy earlier. Thank y'all for sticking around. Appreciate that. The title of today's lesson. Agents within. Agents within. Look at your neighbor and say, are you an agent? And then you laugh, right? Tap him one more time and say, for real. Are you real? Hey, for real. Are you an agent? You probably saying, what the heck is an agent? Agent of what? That ain't the agents that we talking about. Talking about a different kind of agent. A spy. Yeah. What's that fancy term that Iaqua brought to us? I know I'm a butcher it. Agent provocateur. What? Provocateur. Trying to provoke you. So are there any agents in this room? If it was, you wouldn't say, huh? Do we have agents within the nation of Israel? Maybe your best friend is an agent. Maybe your spouse is an agent. Maybe your kid is an agent. Ask your kid, do you work for the government? All right. I know some of y'all like, what the heck? What is he going into? All right. Here's the thing. Go to Revelation chapter 12. Agent. We got agents. Revelation chapter 12, let's get verse 9, and then we're going to drop down to verse 12. Go ahead.
Revelations chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
So what great dragon are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Jump up to verse 3.
Verse 3.
Yep.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon.
A great what?
Red dragon.
The red people. Who are they? Sure they ain't the Arabs? Positive? What'd you say, Mike? Positive? I saw. Here's the thing. Drop down to verse 12.
Verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Said that this devil knows that he has but a little bit of time. Short time. He ain't got much time left. What happens when we're in a situation where we don't have much time? Go to drastic measures. Next verse.
And when the dragon saw that he was cast out into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
So who is this talking about? Who is the woman that brought forth the man-child? The man-child is talking about who? Yahushua. Who is the woman? Us, the nation of Israel. All right? So begin to persecute us. Drop down to verse 17.
Verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Upset. Super angry. Who is the dragon again? So-called white race. All right. They're wroth. The word wroth means beyond angry. Livid. All right. With who? With us. Go ahead.
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
And went to make war. How many of y'all understand that you are literally at war? For real, for real. We are literally at war. War has been waged against us. And it's been some time. And thus far, we've been getting our butts handed to us. War. See, a lot of people, when we talk about war, they don't think about war in the way that one that is properly educated in war would think. A person that's pretty much all their lives basically told that you don't have an identity, just be black, just be Latino, just be Hispanic, just be Indian, right? You're told, you know, turn the other cheek. You're told, everybody, we're all the same, but yet you're treated like you ain't doo-doo, like you're less than a human being. It puts you at a disadvantage when it comes down to having a warlike mindset. Especially when it says that our power, our God, is a man of war. And we're supposed to be made in his likeness. So that's exactly the thing that they had to take from us. They did not want us to have a warlike mentality. We don't know anything about war. So immediately, when we think of a war, we think of a war as if it were a battle. That's how we think of war. That's not how your enemy thinks of war. Your enemy thinks of war in a different way, in a totally different capacity. You think of war like this, and you think of war right now. He thinks of war here, and he sees the war there. Totally different. Totally different. He's looking to cripple you 20 years down the line. And because he gave you a Snickers bar today, you think that he's your friend. Because he gave you some EBT tomorrow, you think he loved you. When he's looking to destroy you in the long run. That's what you don't understand. Because he doesn't take his weapon and attempt to take your life right away, but instead he gives you things that taste so good, but that have small dosages of poison in it, just enough to kill you slowly, but you enjoy it while it goes down your mouth. You think that he's your friend. It's a difference. All right, read that one more time, verse 17.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of his seed.
Went to make war with the remnant of her seed. See, here's the thing. It's been war on the whole nation, but the war has been lost for most of the nation until the remnant began to wake up and be activated. That's called the Valley of the Dry Bones, found in Ezekiel 37. All of a sudden, all these Israelites, we thought we had them. We thought they was dead. But somebody prophesied in the wind. Somebody began to prophesy on them dry bones. How many of y'all at one time was dry bones? Nobody thought you was going to live. I know they looked at me. They didn't think I would live. The way I used to get down and the way I looked, they didn't think I had people up in here that knew me, young folks. And they sure enough didn't think I would be living the way I'm living now. But somehow, some way, we begin to come back to life. And those are the ones that this nation of people are waging war against. You scared? All right, you say no, but I hope you understand what you've embarked upon. Go ahead.
Which keep the commandments of Yahweh.
He said not all of the Israelites. He said at this point, a lot of y'all, I've been had you. I done sunned you. You mind. You do what I tell you to do. I tell you to jump. You say how high. He said, but these doggone commandment keeping Israelites, they want to buck against the system. I tell them to go and get their kids vaccinated. They don't want to do it. I tell them to keep eating that poison. They say, nah, we don't want to eat the poison no more. We got to do something about them because they starting to wake everybody else up. They even starting to affect our own people, the casualties of our people who we got to make look like we doing what they doing. They even starting to get conscious. Oh, nah, something's got to change. So he said, we're going to wage war against them. So they're strategizing. Go ahead, finish that up.
And have the testimony of Yahushua.
And the ones that actually have the testimony of Yahushua. Not that white man that they call Jesus Christ, but the real one. The man of color. The man who actually comes from the same stock that blacks and Latinos and Native Americans and those scattered abroad come from. That guy. All the oppressed peoples of the world come out of that same stock that this man come out of. They got the true testimony of that guy. And it's a problem. Because we teach him in a different way. We teach that he says, oh, all nations, come unto me. I'll give you rest. They teaching the real one. The real one was like, I ain't messing with no other nations. I only come for the nation of Israel, period. But you can get these crumbs if you like. As long as you acknowledge that you a dog. All right, for sure. That's the real one. The real one didn't sound like this. They said the real one was a loud one. You can hear him over roaring waters. That was the real one. Go from there. Go to Psalms 37. Y'all ain't ready. Psalms 37 and verse 12.
Psalms 37, verse 12. The wicked plotted against the just.
So the Bible is telling you what it is. It says the wicked plotted against the just. They plotting against us. Read.
And gnasheth upon him with his teeth.
And gnasheth upon him with his teeth. They looking on ways to destroy you. And you don't even know. Go from there. Go to Ephesians chapter 6. And I want 10 through 12. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 through 12.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10.
Yep.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in all the power of his might.
And in all the power of his might. Read on.
Put on the whole armor of Yahweh.
You got to put on the whole armor. You know, you trying to run up out the house with the wife beater and think you good. He said you're going to get touched. You're going to catch a couple of slugs. He said you better not leave without that chest plate, without that bulletproof vest. Better not leave without that helmet. Better not leave without them shin guards. Better not leave without that shield. And you doggone sure better not leave without that sword. Put on the whole armor of God. See, a lot of us, we want to throw something on real quick. We want to be comfortable. And then we want to be quick. So you got to put on that whole armor if you're going to be able to survive, be able to fight. Go ahead.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
See, that's the thing. You going through hell right now trying to figure out why you get knocked to and fro. I can't understand it. I'm in the truth. And I'm going through so much hell. You ain't got the whole armor of God on. You got to check yourself. Look what you got on. You ain't dodging no bullets. You ain't stopping no bullets. You ain't catching no swords. You ain't doing none of that because you ain't ready. He says so that you're able to withstand the wiles, meaning he got some tricks up his sleeve. We underestimate our enemy all the time. Read on.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
That's the thing, man. Like I told you, we think a war like this. Man, they gotta knock him out. I'll put him on his back. Can't see these. Everybody chin could get touched. Scripture say for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. What is it saying? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, meaning what? That's not the main part of the battle and of the war that you should be focused on. It's bigger than that. Read.
But against principalities.
What are principalities? Talking about against governments, against kings, against presidents. Read on.
Against powers.
Against powers, nations, kingdoms. Read.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
That's what we're talking about. That's who you wrestling up against. You might have gotten a scuffle with the man on the corner, but it's bigger than that. It's like what people don't understand when they look at our people like, man, our people, it's our fault because we need to look at each other different. And if we really wanted to, like Kanye. Kanye, he say some of the dumbest stuff. And I know people, oh, well, he made this point and blah. Man, he ain't making no different points than a lot of us have already brought out. But see, the overall, like Iquar said, it's the way he's coming about doing it. Here go the biggest thing, the biggest problem with Kanye. You have to look and blame the source from which that thing is coming from. They call it systemic. The root word of systemic is system. There's a system in place. Someone formulated that system, put it in place, and got everything to work right, and now they have a system that's well-oiled that functions, and we just live within it. And you trying to figure it out because you looking at this man, you looking at this man, trying to figure out what the problem is, and you can't even understand that the problem is bigger than your world. You just living in it. Things began to be constructed, and you were put strategically in a certain place, and there were certain disparities that came about not by coincidence, but because someone purposely put them in place so that you would not have the same privileges, you would not have the same opportunities. It would be nearly impossible for you all to escape. A few of you guys might be able to escape, and when you think you've escaped, you really haven't escaped, because there's another system that I have for you, another way for me to exploit you, another way for me to use you. That's what we're dealing with. He says you're dealing with the rulers of darkness of this world. They ain't tripping off of us. Yeah, they are tripping off of you, because you they livestock. You they money maker. Little old you that don't nobody care about. Yeah, somebody care about you. Somebody loves you, baby. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Somebody love you. You don't love yourself is the problem. Somebody know what you worth. Go ahead.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Spiritual wickedness in high places. Go from there. Go to Jeremiah 28:8.
We gonna come back here?
Nah. See, this is why they mad at us right here. What's going on, sister? I see you out there. Okay. What's good with you?
Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8.
28:8. Oh, she good. We didn't seen her out on Slaw, so she didn't came and listen. Go ahead.
Verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
So what was we doing back then? We was prophesying against countries. And we got to do the same thing today. And they already know what it is. See, the thing is, now we starting to, at first we didn't have, man, the Most High put everything in place. Now you got a thing called the internet. You got a thing called social media. Word getting out there, everybody watching. Trump watching Israelite videos. You don't believe it? Trust me, he's seen one or two before, I'm pretty sure. I know Obama did. They put that in the movies. They be watching. All your favorite Chris Browns and all of them, they know what's up. Your favorite singers and basketball players, like how LeBron, he wore them fringes and stuff. That ain't coincidental. It's our job to prophesy against these nations, against these countries, and that's exactly what's happening. And they mad about that. Read on.
And against great kingdoms.
And against great kingdoms. This ain't the first time. It always happened the same way. They like, man, we're going to do everything we can to stop it this time. They tried to prolong it as long as they could, and we still woke up. We waking up right now. Greatest people on the face of this earth. And they can't stop it. They like, what? Man, we subjugated them 400 years to the worst type of slavery known to this known world, and they still somehow making their way back. Read on.
Of war and of evil and of pestilence.
See, when you prophesying against them and you telling them, hey, war is coming. Pestilence is coming. Most High gonna destroy your kingdom. They don't like that. They don't like that. What you mean? You're racist. You're a racist. Nah, I'm a realist. It's real talk. Everybody, any Edomite with a decent head on his shoulders understands that empires only last so long. Except for the one we about to have. We about to run the world forever. Straight up. Hostile takeover. Give me all of that. All of it. Go from there. Go to Acts.
Can we do verse 9 while you're right there?
Go ahead.
Verse 9. The prophets which prophesy of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord has truly sent him.
Indeed.
I wanted to read that because it's a lot of false prophets out here that's speaking peace, right? How many of y'all heard of peace on Sunday? All the time. That's all they preaching, right? But we going through hell. Our people being killed. The system is against us. And it ain't no peace, right? But to show you that it's a lot of false prophets, they reading this Bible as well. But this is what we against, right? We're going to get against the agents, right? Agents within. It's safe to say that Bootleg Christian Church is an agent within this Bible.
Con. Go to Acts chapter 17. So we coming up against governments. A lot of times we just focus on the agent, but we don't focus on the agency. I don't know if you caught that. So focused on the agent. Where they coming from? Who sent them? Acts chapter 17, and let's get 5 through 9.
Acts chapter 17, verse 5. But the Jews, which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort.
So now it said, but the Jews, these are Israelites, which believe not. How many of those we got out there? Technically more than 2/3 right now, because some of them gonna be converted. But it's still some of that 1/3 that's still out there doing damage. Some of them oblivious, but some of them, yeah. Don't believe. Our own people move with envy. How would they move with envy? Envy is something different. Here's the thing. Move with envy. They feel some type of way about the life that you choose to live. You ever wonder why your people bear so much hatred and are so indifferent to you now that you say you keeping these commandments? Like when I was, chief and blowing big weed, you didn't really have no problems with me. When I was getting towed back drunk, acting a fool, you didn't really have no problems with me. When I was, whoremongering and all of that, you didn't really have no problems with me. But all of a sudden, when I say I'm going to go straight and I'm going to keep these commandments, I'm going to keep the Sabbath, all of a sudden, I'm the enemy. I'm a weirdo. I'm in a cult. You get it all. Why? One of the simple things is this, is envy. For all of these people that say that they real ones with their relationship with God and Jesus, but then when you hit them with the real, it blows their cover off and they feel some type of way because now they can't be around you. They can't share the same space and be in your energy because it shows how fake they are. And they feel some type of way about that. And that moves people to do things. That'll make a person kill you. You don't believe it? Read that one more time.
But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort.
They took certain lewd fellows of the baser sort. A lot of these bootleg preachers is already doing it. They getting these degenerate, just ignorant Israelites that's willing to bust a hole in your head for $20. Yeah, we on the same side. We got to come up against this because they preaching hate. It'd be better just to get rid of them. They disturbing the word of God. Because anybody could be a Christian. They want to condemn they'll scrutinize the whole Israelite community based off of one video. But then you got the KKK, this Christian, so to speak. Let them tell it. Am I lying? Am I saying something that y'all ain't heard? You got all kind of, man, you know how many gang banging homies you got, how many gang banging sons and daughters you got, how many gang banging nephews and nieces you got, and aunties and uncles that you know there's gang bangers and Christians at the same time. Ain't nobody had no problems with that. Nope. So when they say that, it ain't no different than what's happening right now, man. They become agents, because you're going to find out there's different types of agents. Just like Iquar brought out an agent provocateur, the ones that they send out to try to provoke you to do something unlawful or, you know, to react. You got the spies, which we're going to go into more so. Then you just got different agents that basically get activated. Our people who don't believe easily become agents for the so-called white man, easily. And it's no thought process behind it. As a matter of fact, play that clip for me real quick. And I should have told you where we didn't look at it, but I might tell you to fast forward a little bit, but play that clip for me real quick.
Aaron, dim the lights a little bit.
You want to set the mood?
No, so they can see it.
Got my pocket? Good.
Man, let's go ahead and finish it while they trying to get it up.
All right. Verse 5. But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, and gathered a company, and set all the city on an uproar, and assaulted the house of Jason, and sought to bring them out to the people.
You see that? Said gathered a company. It didn't take long. Whole lot of our people began to be activated. See, that's the thing about agents. A lot of times we think that an agent literally, because, you know, if you know anything about the CIA, how many of you guys know anything about the CIA? If you know anything about Hoover, J. Edgar Hoover, raise your hand about him. That bastard right there. He did so much, man, he did so much damage to our people and our leaders. It was ridiculous. How many of you guys have heard of COINTELPRO? It ain't on my computer.
It ain't. Who's on?
Nah. My computer came back. I sent them the email.
Who back there?
If you know anything about those things, you know, sometimes when you think of an agent, you think it has to be like, oh, they literally went and had to speak to somebody and they were declared as agents and now they were sent out. We're going to talk about that as well. But one thing that you got to understand, that's why I wanted to show this clip. That's not the limitation of agents, of what an agent is and how agents actually are activated. How we looking back there, y'all?
Give us 5 minutes.
5? Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, these that have turned the world upside down are come hither also.
He said these that have turned the world upside down, meaning what? They was causing so much ruckus through the word that they was bringing out that it was causing everything to flip upside down, meaning how people thought things were. People began to question everything. People began to realize that all of the things that they said were good were actually bad, and the things that they said that were bad were actually good. Would it be safe to say that we're going through the same thing right now? literally. So they said, oh man, this is a problem. These dudes is turning everything upside down. I'm gonna tell you one of the serious things that they get upset about is you start messing with their money. You start messing with the preacher's money, but you ain't just messing with the preacher's money. Don't be small time. That's small time money. You messing with all of these corporations. You're not recklessly consuming like you used to. You're starting to get some wisdom behind it. You know, even with our change in apparel, we don't patronize like we used to patronize some of these clothing lines that are nonsensical and definitely are of no benefit to our communities and our people. Straight up. So they said, nah, they starting to mess our money up. They not eating as recklessly as they used to. They starting to get conscious of their health. They starting to realize that we poisoning them. And they starting to make better decisions. They messing everything up. We got to put an end to them. We got to nip this in the bud right now. Read on.
Verse 7, whom Jason had received, and these all do contrary to the decrees of Caesar, saying that there is another king, one Yahushua.
See, we say the same thing. Look, man, look. They be like, you dare say that? You better not say that. You'll get in serious trouble, man. Somebody will kill you. How dare you speak against Trump like that? How dare you speak against the government? We say we getting killed already anyway. It's one king. Who we fear? We fear Yahushua. Oh, that's a problem. So you telling me they don't fear the government? You telling them we can't? Oh, no, we got to put an end to this, man. That gets infectious. Go ahead and play that for me. I got some value on it. Is that from the beginning? I think so, yeah. This is a scene from the Matrix Reloaded. If we can't get sound, don't worry about it. Just let it play. I'll do a play-by-play. Just X out of that little thing. That's in my way. So that's the agent right there. His name is Agent Smith. Got a whole bunch of Agent Smiths in the nation. Agent Smith tripping. He like, man, I killed you. I seen you die already, and somehow you still back. He said, I was following strictly behind the system, and then all of a sudden, something happened. I got free. So long story short, and I wish y'all could hear it, but it's all good. My brother's back there laboring. So what you gonna see here? Wave over the clip, see how long it take. Don't stop it. That's a kind of a long time. 4 minutes. Fast forward a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. Hopefully it don't buffer. Okay, yeah, he's starting to multiply. Yeah, that's cool. Leave it right there. He looking around like, what the heck? Now he gonna try to get him. He trying to turn him. Like, you gonna be just like me. Come on. He said, I got you. Look at Neo. He said, nah. Don't tell me it paused. It paused? Come on. Messing up the spirit. All right, so basically what happens, there you go. So in the Matrix 1, he was only really fighting one of them. And that man, Agent Smith, was a bad mamma jamma. All right, he was whooping Neo. Neo wasn't strong enough. Because Neo didn't believe that he was the one at first. IQ, no. Then when Neo started buying into it, like, yeah, I realized who I am. I'm the chosen. He got stronger and stronger. So Agent Smith said, man, I used to be able to whoop on him. I can't whoop on him no more. So what did Agent Smith start doing? He started multiplying himself. And in this scene, he just multiplying. He can look at somebody, and that's exactly what happened in our nation. They could hear some stuff on TV, hear some stuff at a college, and they turn into another Agent Smith. Swear up and down they original. They come in with their own doctrine, their own mindset, but they ain't nothing but another Agent Smith. How many Agent Smiths do you have in your life? They all swear up and down they saying something different, but they turn it into the same thing. Watch. He said, hey, you, yes, me, you're me too. Yeah. So easy to turn our own people into agents, and that's exactly what's happening. Before you know it, you got all of these agents. You see them on the street. Everybody done watched the Hebrew Israelite video. And everybody got to say, they'll come like they come in with a totally different opinion, but say the same thing, same introduction you done heard 1,000 times over. So are there agents within? Heck yes, agents within. I think that was all of that. Go to Matthew chapter 10. Agents within. Matthew chapter 10, verse 16 through 22.
Verse 16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
Y'all ready? He said, I'm sending you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. What's the nature of a wolf? A wolf gonna light up a sheep, ain't he? And a wolf ain't no little bitty coyote. A wolf is a big animal with some big teeth, right? Go ahead.
Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
He said you got to be wise as serpents in how you move. Serpent has to be wise. He can't get up and jump around and, you know, like every other animal. So every movement, every move that he makes has to be calculated. You know, he doesn't have all the same luxuries as every other animal, so he has to be wise in order to catch his prey. You sitting up there trying to catch something that's way faster than you, that has the ability to run, jump, and leap. You have to be wise in order to be able to catch that prey. But he said, but also be harmless as doves. Go ahead.
But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils.
They will do what?
Deliver you up to the councils.
That's these agents. They are waiting to deliver you up to councils. Go ahead.
And they will scourge you in their synagogues.
They will scourge you in their synagogues. They scourging you in their churches, talking about you, talking bad about you. Everybody talking about you. Read on.
And ye shall be brought before governors.
Brought before who?
Governors.
Before governors and who else?
And kings.
And kings. This is exactly what's already happening, but it's not really happening to a point where most of our people realize it. But it's going to become more and more prevalent, because you have literally people that are being implanted among us who are trying their best to live the lifestyle that you live in, to, you know, do things alongside of you, and waiting for the opportunity so that they can turn you in and get a reward or get a pat on the back. Or they may just be doing it out of hate. Go ahead.
Governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against the, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall
He
speak.
said, don't worry about trying to, have this elaborate speech. He said, the Most High going to be with you. You're going to know the right thing to say because you don't even know who you're going in front of. He said, when you get there, I'll put the words on your lips. Go ahead.
For it is not ye that speaketh, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you.
Go ahead.
And the brethren shall deliver up the brethren to death.
And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death. I don't know if y'all really understand what it is that we're reading right now. Because a lot of y'all, how many of y'all got a brother? A biological brother? How many of y'all love y'all brother? Imagine your own brother, your biological brother, being convinced enough that it's in everybody's best interest, and it's probably, may even have threatened him and his family, that it's in their best interest that they turn your radical butt in. That they offer you up to the government, that they offer you up to the police force, because it's in everybody. They've been convinced that it's in everybody's best interest that you get taken off the street because of your affiliation with this group. Because that's how they playing it. I don't know if you know this. You might not think it's real yet. You live long enough and you'll see. Read on.
And the father, the child,
Parents with their own children, read.
and the children shall rise up against their parents.
And the children are even going to rise up against their parents that's trying to keep these commandments. Read on.
And cause them to be put to death.
And cause them to be put to death. Where they at? They over there. They be on Florence. You know where they live at? Yeah, I know exactly where they live at. He stay over in such and such, and she stay whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And then you probably saying, like, trust me, it ain't that hard to find you. Especially got to be careful. I'm not putting anybody in particular out there, but your information, your vital information just kind of getting out there, even to certain groups who could easily do a roundup. Give over that information to any specific official source to say, hey, you want to know where they're all at? They're right here. Well, we're going to go and get them and round them up. There's a thing called Rex 84. How many of y'all have heard of that? It's real. It got amended during the Reagan administration. It used to be called the King Alfred Plan. And it is a now declassified official government plan to apprehend blacks and Latinos when it all goes down. If you don't think I'm telling the truth, go and read it for yourself. Google it right now. Rex 84. REX 84. And COINTELPRO ain't went nowhere. Read on.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
You're going to be hated of all men. It's crazy because all of these different religions and, so to speak, all of these different doctrines, all of a sudden, everybody coming together just to hate your behind. We got to do something about these Israelites, these black Israelites. How you going to keep calling us black Israelites when you see all these Latinos and Native Americans? But it's an angle. It's an angle. If we can, even the connotation that comes behind the word black, that's black. You want this black bread? It just the negative connotation that comes. It's just a play on words. Just to get everybody to look at us like we're just the scum of the earth. Go ahead.
But he that endured to the end shall be saved.
But those that actually endure to the end, those are the ones that's going to be saved. Now, that's a whole lot of y'all that's in this truth right now. But how many of us are going to actually endure unto the end? Man, I hope so, for real. Most High willing, I hope everybody in this room does. But it's going to be some trials and tribulations. You can bet that. Some of y'all like, man, shoot, I might be gone before it really go down. You might be. But if you got kids, Real talk, because it's getting real out here. Go from there. Go to Isaiah 52:3. Own family members are going to be delivering us up. Agents. They already agents, because we looking, a lot of times we looking like we saw the clip. Remember IQ, that clip that we were showing? Things have evolved, that clip of that one light-skinned brother. Things have evolved. I got to meditating on this when you gave me this topic, and I said, hold on, we've been looking for that. They said, we don't even have to have that. We've got the people on a whole different level that they don't even realize that we can just activate just like that. The agents is the people that you live with. Agents is your co-workers, your family members. Them the agents that know everything about your life, and you help them out with social media. You Instagram everything, you Snapchat and everything. We know exactly what we need to send somebody in for and blow our cover. You offer up everything we need to know. Live stream, you think they can't tap into that? They got it all. You got your computer, you ain't got it covered, they looking at you on a little camera. You trying to cover up, I don't want anybody to see me. They done seen everything you probably got. Is that real? Go ahead and read that, Isaiah 52:3.
Verse 3, for thus saith the Lord, ye have sold yourselves for naught.
We've sold ourselves for nothing. Our people sell our own people out for nothing. And it's been going on like that. And it's still like that today. We sell out for nothing. Because all of these artists that you love, they ain't nothing but agents. Agents of self-destruction. Lil Wayne and all of them ain't nothing but agents. Just ugly, cracked out looking. And everything he say, you just like, oh, that's Wayne. Drake, he a heck of an agent. All of them love Drake. And I ain't gonna lie, he got some dope music. Boy, but he's a hell of an agent. Hell of an agent. Agents, they got them activated everywhere. And they sell you out for a record deal and some fame. And they still prisoners. They know it. They realize it. Like, man, I'm really not free. I'm rich, but not free. But I'll smoke and drink the pain away. Give me some of this lean, and I'll make sure I'll cope with it. Yeah, but they sell us out all the time. Read that. Finish up.
And ye shall be redeemed without money.
But we're gonna be redeemed without money. The Most High say, it's all good. I don't need money to buy my people back. I'm not going to try to buy you back like how we used to have to buy our people back and buy our freedom and things like that. He said, I'm coming back with war. He said, I'm gonna recompense y'all, all right. I got that sword for you. Go from there. Give me Matthew 26. Agents within. Then you got a whole lot of y'all that's agents right now up in here, and you don't even know you agents. You an agent for Satan. You still ain't reformed your ways. You really want to talk about agents? I know we just had a good talk earlier. I'm going to try to be on my best behavior. I'm not going to get on no women. This everybody. Look. It's everybody. Matthew 26, start at verse 6.
Matthew 26, verse 6. Now when Yahushua was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box, of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head. And he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying. They had indignation, meaning what? They was like, what the heck? What you pouring that on him for? Let's find out why. Read on. To what purpose is this waste? They said, what's your reason for wasting this oil? Go ahead. For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor.
And they try to clean it up. Man, we could get a whole lot of money for this. Plus, we could give it to the poor. Them two don't even really necessarily mix. You trying to make money or you trying to give it away? You feel what I'm saying? You got to look at it. You got to read in the context. But they like, man, we can get some money off of this. You pouring it on your Yahweh Shai, like, because they wasn't tripping, because they like, man, we rolling with Yahweh Shai on a day-to-day basis. You know how y'all be thinking about Yahweh Shai? At that moment, they wasn't, he was right here with them. So they was like, man, all of a sudden, man, we could have got money off of that oil, and you pouring that oil on him. What's up? What's wrong with you? You know we need money. You know we gotta cover travel expenses and everything. Read on.
When Yahweh Shai understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me.
He said, why y'all tripping? Why y'all tripping on her? She done did a good thing. What y'all tripping over? Read on.
For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always.
Heavy. He said, yeah, it's all good to do well for the poor, but you always going to have the poor around you. He said, but you ain't going to always have me. How many of y'all wish Yahweh Shai was chilling up in here with us right now? But I guarantee if Yahweh Shai was chilling with us right now, y'all probably be thinking the same way they was thinking in that moment. All right, watch. I'm going to show you. If y'all had Abraham up in here, how would y'all feel? Dang, Abraham ain't getting no love. Dang. What if y'all had Jacob up in here right now? How would y'all feel? Huh? Dang. Man, y'all ain't got no love. Like, dang. King David, what if he was up in here? Oh, everybody, David get love. Now watch this. How you know King David ain't up in here?
That's right. That's right.
Got him. How you know he ain't up in here? According to the scriptures.
Yeah.
So that Yahweh Shai was letting them know, like, man, y'all, hold on. It's me. Go ahead.
For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body. She did it for my burial.
He said, look, y'all don't even realize why she doing this. This is on a spiritual tip that she's already preparing for my burial. My body is already being anointed as I stand here with y'all. And it's beyond y'all. Y'all don't get it. But read.
Verily I say unto you, whosoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman has done, be told for a memorial of her.
Go ahead.
Then one of the 12 called, Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priest.
So Judas felt some kind of way about it. You're going to find out Judas got a different motivation. He thought he was a real one. Just like a lot of y'all think you real ones. Go ahead.
And said unto them, what will ye give me? And I will deliver him unto you.
He got fed up. He said, man, these jakes ain't doing right, man. We got an opportunity to make money, make moves, build. These niggas over here ain't trying to build. I'm about to, man, I gotta get this money, homie. Like, man, talking about, they don't practice what they preach, man. If we was really trying to build and help the people, we could have took that oil and we could have made money off of that oil. You know how many mouths we could have fed with that oil just off of selling that? I could have sold that for whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I could have got like such and such per pop. We sit over here talking about we trying to build a nation and all of this. Niggas over here broke. About to get this money. Is it far-fetched? Go ahead.
And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver.
They covenanted, meaning they made an agreement with him. They said, all right, we give you 30 pieces of silver. That's a gang of money. Go ahead.
And from that time, he sought opportunity to betray him.
But was it enough money to betray the one that was going to give his life for the whole nation? the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father. And then it says, and from that time, meaning what? That didn't just happen at that moment and then that night he went and betrayed him. It was time that passed after that. It was a process of him still being amongst Yahushua. Huh? Absolutely. Still being amongst them as if everything was all good. He was still amongst them. At any time, because here's the thing. It's not always a situation where a person, they ain't never been in here. They go to a agency or whatever, or they get recruited, and then they get sent in for the first time. Sometimes it's the people that's within, and you started off thinking you was really in this walk. Somehow, some way, you went off. You done made a covenant with somebody that you shouldn't have made a covenant with. You feeling all guilty, but you know you got to go along with what you said because you fear your life. But you done made this covenant, and now you about to be a part of the destruction, or what you think is going to be the destruction of this particular organization or this particular person. Go ahead. I'm going to read just a little bit more because now drop down to verse, it was a feast of, and of all feasts, it was the feast of Passover. Scripture tells you, you can't just be partaking of the Passover and not be right. Verse 21.
Verse 21, and as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me.
So Yahushua already knew what it was. He said, I know things that other people don't know. He said, one of y'all going to betray me. Read on.
And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I?
So everybody wanted to know because they were scared. Like, ooh, Yahushua said, one of us, man, is it me? Man, I don't see myself betraying you, but man, is it me? Go ahead.
And he answered and said, he that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me.
So he said, you know, just watch. The one that dip his hand in the dish with me, that's the one that's going to betray me. Go ahead.
The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him, but woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed.
He said, destruction to that man. You don't want to be that man. Why?
It had been good for that man if he had not been born.
He said it would have been best if you was never born than to do what you about to do. It ain't no hope for you. You know how when you read about Moses, Messiah, and he wasn't permitted to go into the land, but he's still gonna get a chance to get this kingdom. Judas ain't getting that chance. It's a wrap. He said it'd been better that you wasn't even born. It's a wrap for you. Go ahead.
Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou sayest.
He said, you the one that said it. I didn't say it. You said it. Do we have any Judases in the midst of us? I hope not. Go from there. Get Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 19. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 11 and 19. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter. And I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, Let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered.
So Jeremiah said, I had no clue. I knew not that they had devised devices. What's a device? You got it? Huh? A phone is an example of a device, but what's a device? What's a device? Huh? Give me a definition. Since y'all don't, you know. No. You kind of know, but you don't know. What's a device? It's another word that can be used for it. Well, in this case, yeah, these devices are talking about snares, definitely. Anybody got that for me real quick? Go ahead. You getting your super modest on today, ain't you? I see you. Go ahead, help her out, Amar. Go ahead, I'll echo it back.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Device as a noun, a thing made or adapted for a particular purpose,
There you go.
especially a piece of mechanical or electronic equipment.
So now it's become electronic, but you know, a device is something that's specifically made for a particular person, purpose, a particular function. So it says, hey, look, I didn't know that they devised devices against me. What type of devices? This whole thing of sending in agents, that is definitely a device of our enemies. Because they know one of the best ways to get to an Israelite is through the people that they love and trust. How did they get to Adam? Through Eve. Said if it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. Go from there. Give me 2 Corinthians 2:11. 2 Corinthians chapter 2:11.
Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11.
Yep.
Lest Satan should get an advantage of us.
So lest Satan should get an advantage. He has an advantage on the majority of our nation. But does he have the advantage on us now? He shouldn't. Why? Read on.
For we are not ignorant of his devices.
We are not ignorant of his devices. We understand now more so what war is and exactly what he puts in place in order to try to catch us up and destroy us ultimately. We're supposed to know. The problem is we got to be careful because we be knowing on the weekends. But then we fall back into the, we numb. We get numb during the week. A couple of bodies dropping right next to you, you tripping for like about a good 30 minutes, and then you cool after that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just shot at you, you be frantic for like a good 20 minutes, and then after that, you back to normal. Straight up. They killing us actively, and then you be back cool after a week. They done shot down a 12-year-old, 16-year-old. You be mad for like a week or two, and then you back. You back taking selfies, and man, you got short-term memory. And you've become accustomed to destruction and oppression. You've become accustomed to being treated less than. You've become accustomed to being seen as nothing. Am I right or am I wrong? Go from there. Go to Luke chapter 20.
Can I say something? He said something that was pivotal when he first started. He said they putting poison in your food and you eat it little by little and you kill yourself. You die slowly. That's a device that the enemy has always put on us to kill us, make money off us, and kill us at the same time.
And cause you to enjoy it while he's killing you.
Yeah.
Like, I like this death. It's a good... That's a cold enemy. That's a cold enemy, man. When they say the white man is the devil, y'all just don't understand. Devil will give it to you like you like it. Take all this death. Okay, can I get seconds? Oh, man. He's a devil, diabolical, as Iroquois say.
Luke 2 and 1.
Luke chapter 20, and I need 19. Start at 19.
Luke chapter 20, verse 19. And the chief priests and the scribes of the same hour sought to lay hands on him. And they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. And they watched him and sent forth spies.
They did what?
Sent forth spies.
They did what?
Sent forth spies.
They always sending spies, man. Facebook is your spy now. That's just like in war now, like in Afghanistan. They don't have to put as many foot soldiers on the ground anymore because they got drones. And they got one type of agent that's called an informant. They got informants. Scripture talk about of the other nations, you're going to have fanners. They got fanners up in here. Go ahead.
Which should feign themselves just men.
Which should feign themselves just men. Like they just like everybody else. Spies acting like they everybody else. Oh, shalom, Mark. Oh, yeah. Oh. They know the whole, you know what I'm saying? You like, man, they a real one. He's a real one. Oh, man, that brother spirit. Man, I really bear witness. Sister come up in here, everybody on her. She an agent like a mother. Oh, shalom, brothers. Oh, shalom, sis. Oh, she virtuous, man. Look at her. Her sundress go down to her ankles. Go ahead.
That they may take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor.
Said, look, they act like they like everybody else because they want to be in conversation so that they can get the proper intel so that they can get you in trouble and deliver you to the proper authorities. See, the thing is, they are just getting information right now. That's all. And they're not doing it in one way. A lot of us, we're sitting up here waiting like, who's an agent? We kind of laugh about it, but they got so many different types of agents working together to try to take us down, to try to destroy you. And half of it you do on your own, like I say. You give it up to them freely. Facebook give you that whole long little contract. You never read that mug. You got a PlayStation 4. You never read that contract. You click that mug. All right, I'm going to have to sign it anyway. That's what you tell yourself. You never read that you giving up all of your privacy rights and all right, well, forget it. Everybody else doing it. So they already got the dime on you as it is. Go ahead. 21.
Verse 21. And they asked him, saying, Master, we know that thou sayest and teachest rightly, neither acceptest thou that person of any, but teachest the way of Yahweh truly.
Go ahead.
Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar or no? So
this is the particular situation. They trying to catch him up. They trying to catch Yahweh Shai up. They like, okay, we got him. Hey, you know what? Hey, bro, shalom. Hey, I had a question. How many of y'all got hit with that question? I got a question, Doc. Is it lawful for us to give tribute to Caesar? I mean, we say we hate the white man and all that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we shouldn't pay the nigga no taxes. You feel? Nigga. Let's see how Yahweh Shai. They thought Yahweh Shai was going to be like, heck yeah, we banging on Esau. Hey, we laughing, but I'm for real, though. I'm for real. We can really learn from this. This how you got to teach yourself and understand this so you can get this to your children. Because they're going to be scrutinized way more than we being scrutinized. Because look at the evolution of this truth already, man. These bootleg Christians didn't know nothing. Now everybody reading up. That Jake that be coming out there, yeah, he bringing pamphlets, how many questions you could ask a Hebrew Israelite, and like they really trying to, hey, really trying to study and get intel to do anything they can to take us down. So they asked him this question, but read.
But he perceived their craftiness and said unto them, why tempt ye me?
Because sometimes, man, we can't give certain answers, but he was wise. He was like, look, let me check this spirit out. Why are you asking me this? Why are you tempting me? Go ahead.
Show me a penny whose image and superscription hath it.
And what they say?
They answered and said, Caesar's.
He said, so now you're asking me if I need to pay taxes to my enemy, right? He said, now look at this money. Who faces on this money? They say, okay, hey, the white man. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the thing which be Caesar's, and unto Yahweh the things which be Yahweh's.
He was, man, Yahweh Shai was so on point. He said, man, render unto Esau was Esau's. Esau hitting you with all these laws, because people get that misconstrued. You know, it's just like our forefathers. You do what you got to do in terms of certain things he got in effect in his laws. Go ahead and do them. It's not expedient for us to break those laws, even though you technically might not be breaking the laws of the Most High, but you end up in a way worse position. Go ahead and give him what's his, but make sure you get the Most High what's his. And the minute that he starts trying to cross that line, that's when you stand up even unto the death, because that's what our forefathers did. That's what Daniel did. So Yahweh Shai let it be known. Real talk, you can clap it up. Because even the elders in they walk, they tell you their stories. They said there was a time where they didn't have this wisdom. They was, hey, we're going to take everything. The world going to be ours in a minute anyway. But you got to get wise, because they like, yeah, okay. That's why they be loving to catch brothers being reckless. All right, we going to play the game. Play the game. Go ahead.
And they could not take hold of his words before the people, and they marveled at his answer and held their peace.
See, here's the thing, without going too far into it. I can say that I hate the so-called white man, but it's how I say I hate the so-called white man. How I say it, and there's so many different layers to how I say it to determine whether or not the person on the other side listening to me is going to feel like I'm justified in what I'm saying, or if I'm just another ignorant black dude, right? If I say it in a certain way and I put my argument out there proper, then they're gonna be like, you know what, I can't even do nothing with that. But a lot of our people, they just be reckless. Oh, hell no, F them. Can't wait to rape his mama and his kids, and it's not necessary. It's just not necessary, and Yahweh Shai had that wisdom. But nevertheless, there are agents that are waiting to try to catch you up. Well, last time I checked, man, on this video, you said such and such and such and such. You trying to say you don't hate white people, but what did you say right here? Real talk. It ain't happened yet, but it will. Go to Galatians chapter 2.
2 and 4.
Yep, 2. I want 4 and 5.
Galatians chapter 2, verse 4. And that because of false brethren unawares.
2 and 4. Oh, I'm tripping. I'm in the wrong place too. My bad. It sounded right, but I was looking at the wrong thing. All right, 2 and 4.
Galatians 2 and 4, right?
Appreciate it. Yep.
Verse 4. And that because of false brethren unawares brought in.
False brethren unawares brought in. We get false brothers from time to time that come in and we ain't aware of it. We thinking they authentic. We think they on the up and up. Go ahead.
who came in privily to spy out our liberty.
They came in what?
Came in privily to spy out our liberty.
It was private. They didn't let it be known to anybody. You had no clue, and they came to spy out our liberty, because we free when we come into this. We finally ain't under the fear like, oh, we can't say this, we can't do that. We like, man, I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing this. I'm saying what I need to say, and they gonna react how they gonna react. But you got false brethren that's acting like they on your team, and they coming in and they spying like a mug. And then when you look back, what they say, hindsight is 20/20. That's what they say. When you start looking back and you think of certain interactions and things that they was apprehensive on and things like that, you be like, man, that dude was probably an agent. He the main one act like he was Rambo with it. He was commando, but then when it came time to put in work, all of a sudden he got real apprehensive and diplomatic. It be going down. Read on.
Who came in privily to spy out our liberty, which we have in Yahushua, that might bring us into bondage.
That they might bring us into bondage. They trying to bring us into bondage. Read.
To whom we gave place by subjection, no, not for an hour, that the truth of the gospel might continue with you.
Said, in other words, they said, and even with all of that, and we realized that we had these snakes amongst us, we still kept doing what we had to do for your sake. All praise to the Most High for that. You got brothers that literally should understand that they putting their lives and their livelihood on the line to get out there and blast the word of the Heavenly Father, the word of this book, so that the people can hear it, so that the people could get that daily bread. Put their lives and their livelihood on the line. And that's what he's talking about. Go from there. Go to 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1. False brethren. Be able to see them in the long haul in the future, right before they about to get put to death, and be like, you ain't a real one.
Can we get some examples of
Huh?
that happened to you?
You said what?
Can we get some examples of brethren that did that?
Nah, I don't want to put nobody out. Nah.
We ain't gotta get no
Wanna start
names
no
out.
war on me.
We ain't gotta get no names.
Don't get particulars like a mug. Be like, I know who that is.
All right, we gonna do that. Hey, no, it happened. So
Put it like this: if you keep them broad, man, if you keep them broad, you want to talk about some particulars.
man, hey, because people gotta know. But we'll do that another day.
We'll put it like this: in all fairness, because now y'all want to know. Look, we've had our share. You know, we've had our share. We've had brothers that came in and disappeared under some real funny style circumstances. We've had those that have tarried with us for a while and kicked up all kind of dust and planted all types of doctrines. We've had a number of different situations that mirror what the scriptures warns us of, brothers and sisters. So, yeah.
Can I get one warning?
Go ahead, man.
All right, I'm gonna give y'all a warning. If anybody in the church come to you and they asking you questions and bringing up another doctrine, and you be like, go to the elders, put them on blast. Be like, and don't wait. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't wait. Go to the elder, be like, look, they asked me this question. I didn't really have an answer, so can you answer this for that person? Because they will do that, and they won't bring it forth to the elders. And when they do that, they spread dissension among brothers and discord amongst the doctrine. And they have disappeared. So that's one of the things that they will do.
Indeed. I thought you was going to dig deeper with
Nah, hey, you didn't want me to
Indeed.
which one, so, yeah.
Don't say no names. Don't say no names. Go ahead.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting right here, and this guy walked up to me, and he started talking to me about baptism. But I remember him from on Manchester. But I told IQ about it, and IQ said he was going to talk to you about it, let you know what was cracking.
Yeah, we'll handle it. For sure. Indeed. Go ahead and read that. First John chapter 4 and verse 1.
Verse 1, beloved, believe not every spirit.
Believe not every spirit. Oh, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat. Nah, not everybody. Just because they, know the lingo, look the look, like you can't believe every spirit. Read.
But try the spirit, whether they are of Yahweh.
You gotta try them spirits. Read on.
Because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Many false prophets. It's just like I think I was talking about the last lesson that I taught. How you got all of a sudden, it's like a popular thing to be a teacher, an Israelite teacher. Like they getting fame off of being teachers now. So everybody want to jump in. Man, that brother right there. Brothers be agents, man. Some of them aware that they agents, some of them unaware that they agents. They ain't living a life and they ain't really ready to die for the cause, let alone live for it. It's harder to live for the cause than it is to die for the cause. Keep it 100. Go from there. That was all of that, right?
Oh, yeah, unless you want verse 2.
Nah, 1 John 2 and 19. Be careful who you get caught up in.
1 John 2 and 19.
Got brothers that's, what you call it, extorting the people. Got all kind of stuff happening within the nation. Because people see like it's a come up now. It's a gang of Israelites waking up. And it's crazy because for all of the ones that ain't keeping these commandments, the vast majority of them, at least they knowing who they are. They continue in their BS, continue in their doctrines, but they know and they accept that they are Israelites because there is no other definitive information that can prove otherwise. I know people that was actively, nah, we ain't Israelites. Now they done shut that up quick because there is no definitive explanation that can say otherwise. So now it's just like, well, we ain't got to keep the laws and y'all extra out and, all of that kind of stuff. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 19.
Verse 19, they went out from us, but they were not of us.
See, a whole lot of them people that we alluded to, they went out from us, but they were not of us. Man, so-and-so, they ain't around no more. You thought they was of us. They was never really of us. Read.
For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us.
Because a lot of them, if they was really with us, they would have continued with us. They wouldn't have left, especially under certain shady circumstances. They wouldn't have left. You got to really look. Read.
But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us.
They were not all of us. Some of them people that went out were not of us. They weren't really down for Yahweh Shai like they said they was. And because of that, a lot of them, you get a lot of situations where they become spies. How many of those have you seen? All of a sudden, they had all this understanding. They done wrote songs and all kind of stuff. And some of the brothers had prolific documentaries. And all of a sudden, they lose all of that. Be like, no. Like, that's some wicked stuff right there. Once you get the knowledge of this truth and everything else you realize is boo-boo, and then you are compelled or go into a covenant with whomever and go and start teaching other than what the scriptures say, that's some wicked stuff. The least you can do is just disappear in shame because I done left, I done messed up. But for you to lead this and then all of a sudden come and speak against it like this ain't the come on. Agents. Go from there. Get Ecclesiasticus chapter 19.
Can I say something too?
Yeah.
Also, when people leave, y'all should ask why they no longer with us. Why am I still friends with this person on Facebook? Why am I still allowing them to look on my page and see what I'm into, being that person left on an unholy term or cut ties with some holy people? Y'all should question that. Because we always say, man, we not gonna police Facebook. But it's up to y'all to find out why that person left, why they no longer with True Nation, why I should delete that person from Facebook. Because they Yaquatazai put it in his song, beware of who you let in your home, because they leave spirits in your home. That spirit is still lingering with you if you still got that person as your Facebook friend. Because it's something that you like, man, I don't want to discipline that person. I'm going to just go with the flow because it's social media. But it still affects you the same way as if they came in your home and you still accepted them. But, what scripture was that?
Ecclesiastes chapter 19. Let's get 26 through 28.
Sirach 19, 26 and 28.
Yep, 19:26.
Sirach 19, verse 26. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head, sadly.
So they be coming like, oh man, I just need help. I'm just trying to do right. I'm just tired of this world. How many of y'all have ever had that experience? I'm just trying to get right. Go ahead.
But inwardly, he is full of deceit.
But they full of doo-doo. They full of it. Go ahead.
Casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not.
See, they casting down their countenance and making as if they heard not. Meaning what? They sitting around you, act like they moping and it's so bad. But all the while, they sitting up here getting all of the intel. They getting all of the business. Finding out how the operation is moving. Read on.
Where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware.
It said, where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. How many times has that happened? You thinking it's all good. This person finally depart. You like, oh, no harm, no foul. All right, cool. Maybe, this congregation just wasn't a good look for you. All right, we leave it on peaceable terms. Then you realize that they didn't talk to this person. They didn't conflicted this person. They didn't confuse that person. They got these people low-key following them. And before you know it, you got all of this extra stuff that they done did, and you ain't never aware of it until it's too late. And that's exactly how they be moving. Agents. Somebody might be mad listening to this. Somebody gonna probably be like, Tazarian one, did you see that lesson? Hey man, if the shoe fit, wear it.
Yep. And they done pulled you in some mess that you ain't never was a part of. But they used you as a pawn to even get more information.
God. And it happens. And that's why all praise be to the Most High. We bring out scripture, because it's one thing if I say it, but it's a whole different thing if you see that in scripture. You ever see stuff in scripture, people bring stuff, I'll be like, dang, I didn't know that was in there. Scriptures tell you this. This is how it go down. Go ahead, read.
And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil.
Did you get that? And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, meaning in front of you, they gonna act like they righteous than a mug. They gonna act like they, and then people that be like, man, this person, they godly. I ain't never seen them act out of character. I ain't never seen them do X, Y, and Z. Nah, not this person. But the scriptures say what? Yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. Behind the scenes, they be doing all kind of wickedness. Then it be taken for you to go and interview this person, interview that person, get this text message, get that information. Then you be like, oh, this person on a whole different level. Then it be kind of cold, low key, because we never really fully disclose every single thing. So then it leaves some of our members like, it wasn't right what they did to so-and-so. But you don't know. It'd be a whole lot of evidence against that person. Scripture tell you, but these are agents. You wanted to know about agents within, this is what it is. Every agent, you don't have one type of agent. They're not all uniform. They're sent in under different pretenses for different reasons, with different agendas. Straight up. Go from there. Give me Ecclesiastes 8 and 18. I know this ain't no hooping and hollering feel good class, but hope y'all getting something from it.
It's needed. It'll protect the flock. Sirach 8 and verse 18. Do no secret thing before a stranger.
Do no secret thing before a stranger. You just now getting to know this person and you trying to do something like, hey, keep this on the hush, but whoop-de-whoop. No. Negative. Don't do it. Go ahead.
For thou knowest not what he will bring forth.
You don't know what they gonna bring forth, what they gonna tell, who they gonna tell. Don't do it. Get chapter 9 and verse 14.
You don't read verse 19?
Nah, I don't need it.
Get what verse?
I mean, it's just pretty much going into the same thing.
All right, what verse?
9 and 14.
Sirach chapter 9 verse 14. Use not much company of a woman.
9 and 14.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Verse 14. As near as thou canst guess at thy neighbor.
See, they done taught you, they done miseducated you all your life. Don't judge a book by its cover, Jimmy. Don't judge a book by its cover. That's not right. Bible don't say that. Bible say what? As near as thou canst guess at thy neighbor. Try to figure out where they coming from. You got to. That's how you protect yourself. You trying to figure out, okay, where this, you don't have to be a butthole. You don't have to be a butthole to somebody, and you don't have to be overly standoffish to be able to execute this. You can still be, oh, shalom, personable, greet that person, but be wise. As near as you can, guess at thy neighbor. Don't just give them your social security the first night you meet them. Man, don't tell them your inner darkest secrets the second time y'all kick it. Oh, man, I just felt that person's spirit. And nah, be wise. Guess at them, go ahead.
And consult with the wise.
And consult with wise people that's going to be able to give you what you need in terms of counsel and advice versus just this person you just met and you just bearing all. Go up to verse 10.
Forsake not an old friend.
So then the Bible also says, forsake not an old friend, old but faithful. Sometimes, man, we be loving them new friends. We love them new shoes. We love that new shirt. We love everything new. It's new. You know how some people like that? Some people, they just content. Some people like new everything. They can't never go and order what they like to eat. They got to go and try something. They can't never go and order their favorite ice cream. They got to try a new flavor. The Bible said, man, you got to be careful of that. Go ahead.
For the new is not comparable to him.
So he say straight up, the new is not comparable to him. It's no comparison. You can't do that. It's not right yet. Go ahead.
A new friend is as new wine.
A new friend is as new wine. Meaning what? What's up with new wine? Number one, new wine ain't that strong. It's not fermented long enough. So it's not really fit for what you would use wine for, right? You want it to age and mature. Watch this, read.
When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure.
When it get old, that's when you drink it with pleasure. Prove them friends. Give it a little bit of time. Not on the first day, first week. And then you see where they at and you say, oh yeah, all right, that brother really is a real one. Oh man, I get the chance to see that brother family. So it's hard for a whole family to be agents. Usually the agent, yeah, that type of agents, them spies. It's hard for a family unless they on some, some TV type stuff. I done met his family. He really got, okay, yeah, kid, yeah, that's his. Go from there. Get Ecclesiastes chapter 11, 29.
Sirach chapter 11, verse 29. Bring not every man into thy house.
Don't be quick to just open up your house. Give it a little minute. Check them out. All right, cool. Go ahead.
For the deceitful man hath many trains.
That's where that King Louis line come from.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like as partridge taken and kept in a cage, so is the heart of the proud. And like as a spy watches watches he for thy fall.
So in other words, it said, look, they be spying on you and watching for your fall. You thinking it's all good that they up in there? Oh man, you got a great house. Let me see what I can spy. I spy. Go ahead.
For he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy praise will lay blame upon thee.
So they trying to twist stuff. They trying to find some blame. They trying to get you caught up. Read on.
Of a spark of fire, a heap of coals is kindled, and a sinful man lieth wait for the blood.
Go ahead.
Take heed of mischievous man. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring up on thee a perpetual blot. Receive a stranger into thine house, and he will disturb thee and turn thee out of thine own.
So we got to be careful about who we, let into our house. Go from there. Go to Psalms 41:9. Psalm chapter 41 and verse 9.
Psalms chapter 41, verse 9.
Yeah.
Ye, mine own familiar friend.
He said, my own familiar friend. Because sometimes we be like, nah, not this one. Go ahead.
And whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, has lifted up his heel against me.
So sometimes your own familiar friends can also betray you. Don't get it twisted. Don't think, I've been knowing this person. Things happen along the way. Things happen along the way. Go to Psalms 55, 12 through 14.
Psalms 55, verse 12. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it.
He said, look, man, it wasn't an enemy that reproached me, that hated me, that gave me a hard time. Because if it was, then I could have dealt with that. Go ahead.
Neither was it he that hated me, that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from him.
So he said, man, it'd have been easier if it was an enemy or somebody that I knew that hated me. It would be easier to deal with. How many of you guys have actually had a situation where it was an enemy or somebody that you know that didn't like you or hated you, and it wasn't nothing for you to disconnect or for you to guard yourself? How many of y'all have been in that situation? But what happens when it's your best friend? What happens when it's the one that you love and you trust? What happens when it's the one that you got that extensive history with? That's when it hurt. That's when it catches you off guard. Read on.
But it was thou, a man, mine equal, my guide, and my acquaintance.
He said, this is my friend. Read.
We took sweet counsel together and walked unto the house of Yahweh in company.
He said, man, we grew up in this word together, man. We came up in this truth together. That's when it hurt. That's when you get caught off guard. So that's what you got to make sure that you prepare yourself for. Because how many of y'all in the back done been through that? Yeah. You just live long enough. Go from there. Go to Job chapter 5. Verse 8, and then drop down to 12.
Job chapter 5, verse 8. I will seek unto Yahweh, and unto Yahweh would I commit my cause.
Go ahead, drop down to verse 12.
He disappointed the device of crafting, he disappointed the device of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
So the Most High, he's the one that's going to disappoint that, man. You ain't got to worry too much. Be wise and circumspect. Be sober and vigilant. But the Most High say it's only so much you can do. He said, but bet I'm going to make sure that I disappoint that. So we ain't got to worry like the Black Panther Party and all of the different organizations, you know, that was fighting for liberation of Black and Latino people and Native American people, especially like in the 60s, when you had J. Edgar Hoover and the CIA with COINTELPRO and how they systematically destroyed them. He said you ain't got to worry about that, because this one, they can't do that too. He said you in the right one now. He said this one right here, you can't just knock off one leader and think it's going to crumble. Because Israelites is popping up all over the globe. Man, real talk. Whether you go to Peru, whether you go to Nicaragua, whether you go to Jamaica, whether you go to Ghana, wherever you at, there's some Israelites waking up. Straight up. And it's scaring them to death. Go ahead.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Straight up. Go from there.
I don't need 14. It's cool. Psalms 33 and 10.
Psalms chapter 33, verse 10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught.
So he's going to bring the counsel of the heathen to naught, talking about Esau and these other nations that's been plotting against us, especially Esau, because the nations is about tired of Esau. He said they counsel is coming to naught. Go ahead.
He maketh the devices of the people, he maketh the devices of the people of non-effect.
So everything from their agents to their Facebook, as much as they trying to utilize that to destroy us, to subjugate us, to box us in, it ain't working. For all of that, the word is getting out even more. That's why they are really afraid. It's a last resort to martyr somebody, because then that's when it's really going to be worldwide. The day when they finally get fed up and they feel like their hand is forced and they got to actually martyr an Israelite, they know that truth is really going to spread, and it's like, okay, it's all bets off. It's like everything is going to have to be revealed at that moment. And that's what they understand. So they really strategizing right now. But the Most High said, don't worry, because it ain't nothing that they can do to stop this. Go from there. Get 2 Corinthians 13 and 8. Boy, if you knew what I knew, you'd be rejoicing right now. 2 Corinthians 13 and 8.
Verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
It ain't nothing that they can do or that we can do against this truth. We can only do things for the truth. So all of their deception, as much as they trying to do it against the truth, it's doing nothing but helping us. Because what they doing, they fulfilling prophecy, and all we do is bring it out in the book. For every agent that done came through here, they done just made us stronger. As long as we doing our part and doing what we supposed to be doing, I guarantee we're going to continue to get stronger and stronger. And the minute we go off, that's the Most High is supposed to dismantle it. But everything that Satan, everything that this so-called white man put up against us, it can't do nothing but further this truth. People was tripping off of Donald Trump. Oh, Donald Trump and blah, blah, blah. Donald Trump is doing exactly like Rashaf said a while back. Everything is going exactly according to plan. They brought in the right one, believe that. Stirring up the spirit of Esau. Let me see how wicked of a bastard you are again. I almost forgot. Been watching too many of these movies. Watching too much Disney Channel. I forgot for a second. Yeah, I forgot that you the scum of the earth. Give me Psalms 56 and verse 11. Psalms 56 and 11.
Psalms chapter 56, verse 11. And Yahweh have I put my trust.
So it's the Most High that we put our trust in. Read.
I will not be afraid what man can do unto me.
I ain't going to be afraid what man can do unto me, and you shouldn't be either. Quit being, oh, well, they up in here, and I'm scared to go to class because they can be watching me, and, you know, they know where I live, and can't be afraid. What can man do to us? Go from there. Matthew 10. 10 and 26. (26 through 28).
Matthew chapter 10, verse 26. Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed.
You hear that? There is nothing covered that shall not be revealed. You trying to hide this and hide that? It's going to be revealed anyway. All of that stuff is going to be revealed. Go ahead.
And hid that should not be known.
And ain't nothing is hid that ain't going to be known. That shall not be made known, be known. So what we worrying about? That's why you say, man, go out there and cry loud and spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgressions. That's what we got to focus on. We got to focus on the work. I know a lot of Israelites, when you come in, you trying to figure out where you fit in. You fit in where the work is. Come in and put your hands to the plow. Start working out your own salvation with fear and trembling, because it's a real walk. All of them cartoons and TV shows you seen where it was like, oh, you got a purpose. You really got a purpose. It was really talking to you. Just come join the team. This ain't nothing but a team within the Israelite community. We trying to do these works. Ain't the True Nation the only place, but we be glad to have you. So we can put in this work. It feel good to ball on the same team. I wasn't all that enthused about LeBron going to L.A. Really don't care at this point, because I'm all about the Israelite situation now. Back then, you know, you'd be, oh, my team, we all right now. We got so-and-so. But all of that to say, all right, LeBron in town now. Okay. LeBron on the team. All right. You made peace with it. He a teammate now. It's the same thing with this team. People, you know, some people speak badly about the different teams. Man, all praise to the Most High for all of the teams that's trying to do this in righteousness, man. All of the alphabets or whatever, all of the Israelites, period, that ain't got alphabets. We personally ain't an alphabet camp, if you will, because we don't be like, you know, using an acronym. But all of that to say, man, we trying to do the work, and it feels good, man. Come join the team if you want. You know, let y'all throw you a couple of dimes and some alley-oops. Straight up. Yeah, or you can throw some to us and let us try to slam it in the hole. But we got to come together based off of these works. Go ahead.
Fear them not. Verse 27. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light.
So what you hearing in the darkness, go out into the light and speak it. That's why we go off on the internet like we ain't hiding. Nah, you know what? Speak it in the light. That's what it's for. Well, man, it's going to be what it's going to be. Just prepare yourself. Do what you can to prepare yourself. And the Most High said, he said, I take care of the sparrows. I take care of the fowls of the air. They don't do no planting and nothing like that. I take care of them. He said, aren't you better than them? He said, I'll take care of you. You do my work, I'll take care of you. Go ahead.
And what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops.
Yeah, you hear somebody tell it to you in the ear, but it's your job to go and preach it on the housetop and let everybody know. Let it be heard and let everybody see you saying it. Read.
And fear not them which kill the body,
And stop being afraid of everybody that can kill the body. Go ahead.
but are not able to kill the soul.
Because they can't kill your soul. They can't condemn your spirit to hell, to the second death, to that lake of fire. Read.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both the soul and body in hell.
Fear the Most High. Period. Fear the Most High. Stop fearing man and what they can do to you. You ain't gonna last in this truth fearing man. You gonna have, it's gonna be some times where you be afraid, but the scriptures say he has not given us the spirit of fear, but of what? But of power and a sound mind, right? So you got to be able to check yourself in the moment that you're a little fearful. That's all right, a little bit of fear. But the thing is, are you gonna be overwhelmed in your fear? Are you gonna be made a victim by your fear? Are you gonna, what's the word I'm looking for? Are you gonna be suspended in your fear and frozen in your fear? Are you gonna be able to say, all right, whew, you know, that deep breath? Just like when you about to fight, you get that initial like, oh shoot. But once it's on, especially after he done hit you and he ain't knocked you down. Oh, okay. Now it's on, right? Where my fighters at? You know what I'm talking about, right? After you get that initial, because you don't know where he at with it. Even if you've been a fighter, you trying to see where he at. But once you commence, you go into that action like, okay, all right, I've been here before. And that's what it is. Last one, go to Matthew chapter 7. A little bit of fear is okay. It's a little healthy, man. You get reflexes. But don't be overwhelmed in your fear. Matthew chapter 7, verse 21 through 23.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 21. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So this is that last thing, man. A lot of people, they think they in the truth, but they ain't nothing but agents. Go ahead.
But he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven.
You got to be doing the will of the heavenly Father. Read on.
Many will say unto me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name?
Man, I was saying Yahweh. I was saying Yahweh Shai. I was keeping the commandments. I was coming to the Sabbath. Read.
And in thy name have cast out devils.
Man, we was casting out Edomites. Go ahead.
And in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I prophesy unto them, I never knew you.
Then I will profess.
And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity.
Ye that work iniquity. In other words, what I'm telling you is this. Be careful of searching for the agents within and not looking at yourself, looking in the mirror and realizing that you are an agent. All right? So I hope if we do have any agents that you can morph back from Agent Smith and become the chosen one again. Any questions? All praise be to the Most High and Yahweh Shai. If it's no questions, then